Hi guys, I'm Sayesha, and 5 years ago I quit YouTube. Yeah. And at the time, I told myself that it was a pause, that I was taking a break, and I would come back to it really soon. But as we can see, that did not happen anytime soon. And if you ask me why I quit, my answer to you would be that I did not feel like YouTube was something I enjoyed doing anymore. I did not feel like I was putting my best foot forward. I did not feel like my content would resonate with that many people. And also, I did not feel like I had developed my potential enough to showcase it on a platform as big as YouTube. I know it sounds insane that I thought that deep into it, but I did. So I strove away from making content for a while, and I realized I always found my way back to it, whether it was through watching tutorials on video editing or making reels. I realized that somehow this thing was not leaving me, and it's something that I actually did enjoy doing. So, after all of that learning and growing I did in the past 5 years, I realized there really will never be a perfect time to start YouTube. So, whenever I would get questions about why I quit YouTube, my answer would be when the time feels right. And I realized the time will never feel right because there is never a right time to start something. And so I decided I am coming back on YouTube, and here I am. Currently, I'm a literature major at Loreto College who also minors in film studies and journalism. And I also make content on Instagram. I'm also a freelance video editor and I'm consistently trying to improve my craft and the whole videography thing. I honestly feel like the break was necessary because now I have much more confidence in my craft, as in the videos I create, the quality I can put out, and the way I resonate with life. I have this, I wouldn't say newfound, but this owned love for film and video making in general that honestly has come from my love for making YouTube videos to begin with. YouTube is what has made me the person I am today. It was a big part of my life when I was just coming into teenage, and I want to return the same love to YouTube as it showed me back then. Because if not for YouTube, I would have never started making videos. I would have never developed this love for the camera and for video editing, and I would have never ever known the love I have for this. So, with my comeback, today's video is going to be a get ready with me, a very chill, laid back video while I talk about life in general and how things have been in the last 5 years and things I have learned before turning 20. Alright, guys, let's begin. So, step one, I'm going to start with concealer. This is the concealer I use, it's by Maybelline. So, just to clarify, this will not be a makeup tutorial, it's just a sit down video where I'm just chatting with the camera and doing my own makeup. One thing I've learned in the last 5 years is that all you have at the end of the day is yourself in every single aspect of your life. So you really don't owe anyone anything. 5 years ago, if you asked me, what do I do every day? I would have responded, I talk to my friends. And honestly, that would have been one of my only responses as to what I do every day because I had this dependency on people, on social contact to feel like I was something. Like, that might sound really shallow when I put it this way right now, but I truly felt like if I did not talk to like at least three people every day, I felt like I was lacking something in my life or that I was not a proper teenager. I don't know how to explain it. But over the last 5 years, I have realized that that's not true. You don't need to be talking to 10,000 people every day or, doing 10 different things every day to feel validated as a human being. You do not need to. I think another reason that is because at the time social media was so big. It still is, obviously, maybe bigger, but at the time, talking to each other on social media was such a big thing, especially during COVID, which is why we all kind of developed this dependency on others to feel like we were existing. And that is something that I've grown out of. I'm going to be using powder next. This is the powder I use. It's Maybelline Fit Me. And while we do that, I want to talk about how toxic social media is, especially when it comes to comparison. And I'm not just talking about comparison in terms of comparing yourself to other people on social media looks wise, but I'm also talking about comparing your relationships and friendships with other friendships and relationships on social media, which I think is super duper toxic and needs to be regulated. We should stop doing that. Because what people post on social media is literally just one little snippet of their life. You might be seeing an aesthetic cafe with a group of 10 friends in it, but that's just what you are seeing. It's much deeper than that. And that is why we should not be comparing ourselves to every single thing we see on social media. All right, powder is done. Next step is blush, and this is the blush I currently use. It's by Rare Beauty in the shade Happy. Also, while we do blush, I want to talk about content creation as a genre or as a career. Like, I feel like in the past, like 5 years, a lot of people have got into content creation. Oh god, that was a lot of blush. A lot of people have gotten into content creation, and I feel like some have gotten into it just because of the aesthetic and because it looks good, and without really understanding what it is to even be a content creator. I feel like nowadays people use the term very loosely. Like, they'll post 5 reels, out of which one reel gets like 1 million views, and they'll be like, I'm an influencer, I'm a content creator. And I feel like that's really stupid because, first off, I also don't like when people mock the career that content creators have just because they feel like they don't do much work to earn the money that they do. Well, at the end of the day, they are still the one living the rich life, the fulfilled life, and you are not. So think about that once before you start mocking them. But yeah, I do feel like people need to stop using the term content creator so loosely because it is an actual job and it is an actual hobby, and you should only use that term if you are willing to do this thing seriously, either as a job or as a hobby. After blush, I usually do mascara. This is the mascara I use. It's by Huda Beauty. We are done with mascara, and let's talk about friendships. I think my view on friendships has changed drastically over the last 5 years. I used to be someone who really was that friend who would, want constant communication and would want to constantly be in touch, which I did realize is kind of toxic and it gets draining for you too over time. And it did get draining for me. So that's something I've changed in the last 5 years, to the point where now I barely prefer talking to people every day. And when I do, it's not that long of a conversation. Um, I don't feel like doing highlighter today, so we're just gonna move on to lips. For lips, I'm going to be using this lip gloss from REM Beauty. And while we do that, let's talk about the interests that I've developed over the last 5 years and the interests that I've left behind. So, 5 years ago, I was really into art, and I was like the kid who used to keep drawing or painting something all the time, and that has changed. I don't do that anymore, mostly because I think it's the shift in lifestyle from being a school student to being a college student. College doesn't allow you as much time to explore your hobbies. You are not able to keep up with all of your hobbies, which is sad, but it's the truth. Other than that, I have developed this newfound love for poetry. I write poems a lot, and my ability to write good poems has also developed over the years. And my love for literature has developed over the years, given the fact that I do study literature. So, with that, I think the get ready with me is over. So, here is the final look. Let me just fix my hair. Okay, that's my hair. I'm not gonna do much to it. Also, I forgot to tell you guys I have these earrings. I'm going to wear these because they're very cute. That's it. I think the look turned out super simple and cute. So, here's a montage. First off, if you've made it this far into the video, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate your presence on this channel, and just thank you for being here and welcome to this channel. or welcome back if you're old. And just to let you know, moving forward on this channel, you can expect chill lifestyle content with cinematic visuals and just nice vibes. So, if you like that, you can subscribe, turn on the post notifications bell so you can get notified whenever I post a new video. And as I always like to say, thank you guys so much for watching, and you are watching Saisha's World. Bye bye.